Our podcast.
Hi.
That is definitely not the song I always do.
It is definitely not the song you
I don't even remember at this point.
We honestly don't even have a topic for the day, so we're just winging it. So.
This is like our second time winging it, so.
Wait, what was our first time?
I don't know. I don't know what we ended up talking about.
Oh.
I have to go back to the archives.
Archives.
I kind of want to talk about trending topics. Right now, today, July 5th, 2020, we had Kanye West, coronavirus, racial inequality, LGBTQ.
I don't think those parts were trending. I think those are just cards that Google made for people to get to rapidly. Because everyone's worried about the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's worried about racial equality right now.
Mm-hmm.
The LGBTQ people, they're always on there probably because they're.
So you think those are like the main things?
Those are pinned subjects. Like in our chat thing, how I have my name pinned at the top of your messages, so it's always gonna be there. Like whether you're texting anyone else at that time, you could be texting your sisters right now, and my name is always going to be at the top. Period.
Because
not because you text me most, because I have it pinned up there.
I know, but I do text you the most.
But regardless, since it's pinned, I'm always going to be at the top. If you unpin me, you can text your sisters right now, and I drop down to number 2. That's what I'm saying. Those are pinned topics, for people to rapidly find,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, when it says recently trending, I don't believe on that very same page, recently, that it had a whole card that said Kanye West on it. I don't believe that. I just feel like those are the actual top trending things outside of the subjects that are pinned on top of the board.
What is trending anyway? Like, why are the masses going towards those things?
I don't know. I feel like we're both not on social media like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone Twitter or anything like that. So we low-key don't see anything that's going on unless it's like news based.
But let's go off of that. Like, is social media the new news? Like, is that why everyone in the world is on certain topics at a time?
I don't think it's the new news. I think it's a new form of what they used to call them back in the day, where it wasn't like the news that had to be 100% reported, like
tabloids.
Yeah, social media is the new tabloids, but it's like live search tabloids, because anyone who's on there can rapidly update something random, All it takes is for one person to take a picture of Kanye West peeing on a president statue or something, and then bam, it's going to be around the world in 50 seconds. There are going to be people who say it's going to be Photoshop, But I'm just saying, like, it'll be that quick. All it takes is one photo and one post, and then it's everywhere. Because you mean to tell me if your friend right now was like, I was literally out and about and I saw Kanye West run up a tree and rescue a puppy, and I got the video of it and they post a video, you wouldn't be like, whoa, this doesn't look photoshopped at all. Let me share it to someone I know so that way they can see it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just goes from there, because you'll share it to one person, they'll share it to 2 people, they'll share it to 4 people, and then those people are sharing it to 3-4 people. And then it's like, how they say, exponential growth? Coronavirus?
Coronavirus, asterisk point.
Right?
But that's basically a viral video.
Yeah, it is. But it's still, I would still consider it like a tabloid, though. Because that's not, like, yeah, ooh, he rescued a dog out of a tree. But how important is that really to my day-to-day life?
But what counts as news and what counts as tabloids? I feel like news can be anything.
Yeah, you're right. News can be anything.
It's anything I didn't know. But it's new to me.
The only reason I say it's tabloids is because 9 times out of 10 it's reported by people who aren't basically aren't like reporters or something like that.
They're not
you know?
journalists.
They're not journalists or anything like that. So I instantly are gonna look at it with like a grain of salt, like take the truth of a grain of salt through them. Mm-hmm. Granted, you do have a lot of journalists out there who be stretching the truth and shit, but still, like, I'm gonna read their topics and like check their shit in there more often than if I see someone who's just put up a thing saying, "Oh, I watched Kanye West save a dog out of a tree." I'm gonna be like, "Oh, so you're memeing me right now, you know? Like you're trying to troll me or some shit like that." But that's just because they're not a journalist or anything like that.
Do journalists have some type of integrity? Is that what makes them different? Like, do they pledge like a police officer?
I don't think they pledge per se, but I think they're supposed to have some type of integrity. They're supposed to.
What is that? What is that statement or contract? Is there a physical form that we can see that like, oh, you are an accredited source? Like, what makes you better than the next person?
I think there is a thing about that, but I don't think I've ever physically seen it.
Because when you're writing a paper for school or something,
you have to cite your work and everything.
And not only do you have to cite it, it has to be a credible site.
You can't just Wikipedia everything and be like, take it for what it is.
Right. So, what makes something a credible?
Probably the company it comes from.
Okay, but how does that company achieve a credibility?
I guess from start, anything that they report on, you know, when they report on it and put it out there. What?
Stop twisting it.
I'm not twisting it. When they report on it and put it out, you're gonna have people who are gonna like, fact check it. You know, like if we started a journaling company right now, and we were putting out things that said, 15-year-old boy rescues old lady out of burning building, right? Someone, like, there's gonna be a fact checker out there, probably even from another company, because, you know, there's thousands of them out there, and they're probably gonna check, was there a fire on that day? How many people were involved on that day? Is there a report on that, for that? You know, they're gonna go through I'll counter that
okay. Because TMZ is not an credible source, quote unquote.
But TMZ is also a very widely used tabloid service.
Yeah, but when have they been wrong? They do not put up stuff that isn't real.
But that's TMZ.
Or fake.
But that's TMZ.
But how come they're not accredited?
And then that's also on TV too. Because if you go online right now...
I mean, now they have a TV show. Before it was just a news
Yeah, but
website.
But that's them. Whoever started TMZ probably came from real live journaling or reporting and was like, why is there no tabloid-esque journaling out there, you know, reporting on all things major celebrity, you know?
Because if you try to submit a paper on Kanye West, who's trending right now, and you use a quote or something from TMZ, your teacher's going to be like, this isn't an accredited source because it hasn't been accredited, quote unquote. But how does someone get accredited?
But then I feel like at the same time, it depends on what type of class you're taking. Because maybe in an English class or like a history class, they're going to be like, it's not a credible source. But I feel like if you're doing like a TV journaling class or something like that, or something along the lines that's going towards like writing for TMZ or something like that.
Do you think journalists think TMZ is credible? Do you think journalists are like, that's a spot? Or, because I feel like Wall Street is up here, right?
Yeah. Like
number one, if you see it on Wall Street Journal, it's true. It's what it is. Yeah.
Hundreds of people double check everything because they're like,
exactly,
we can't put some bullshit out there.
But I feel like true journalists don't view TMZ on the list. I don't think they think that they deserve a spot on the list.
But you have to also think about it. Wall Street being formed so far before TMZ is also ran by the older generations who don't believe in, you know, following up on celebrities like TMZ does. They're just here for politics, finances, world events type shit, So they're not gonna believe it. The only way Wall Street is ever gonna be like, oh, we might quote TMZ, or we might, well, we're not gonna say they're not accredited, is when like a new generation starts moving into Wall Street and becomes into management, where they have the power to say that. But until then, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Because I feel, in my opinion, I feel like as long as there's truth to it, there shouldn't be a reason why we can't believe them. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's just name brand at that point. Oh, I believe it because it's Wall Street, and I won't believe it because it's TMZ. But it's just like, when has TMZ been wrong? Show me that paperwork,
I mean, that's true. But at the same time, they're not even on the same level. Because the things that you see in Wall Street, you're not going to see in TMZ.
Okay.
So that's why it's like, if you're looking for celebrity-based information, TMZ
is the place
where you're going to go. You're not going to go to Wall Street and be looking for things about Kanye, things about, rappers or anything like that, singers, artists, things like that. You're not going to go to Wall Street about that. Unless there was a tragic event or some heartfelt event that happened.
Yeah, that they felt like, we need to make a piece on this.
Exactly. That's the only time you're going to see it in there. But how often does that really happen?
Because even I wrote a paper on pirates, and I quoted a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Because I feel like they did their research before they did that movie. So I don't understand why I couldn't quote some of the stuff
But you know what? At the same time, you quoting Pirates of the Caribbean, you probably could have dug a little bit deeper and found the sources that they quote they were citing for their information instead. Then you would have had more work cited instead of just one, depending on the number of movies you used, and you wouldn't have to worry about what happened.
Calm down.
You started like recoiling back and pulling your arm like you were scared of something. What was it?
There was a bug.
That's what. See, you gotta.
Why do I have to tell you?
You start recoiling, girl. You don't think I'm gonna get worried about you?
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. Needless to say, we hate this apartment, and we're 30 seconds away from ending this podcast. But,
I didn't want you to lose your train of thought.
But I was gonna lose it the moment you recoil.
I tried not to do it too intensely.
Okay, but anyways, hopefully the next podcast will be in our new place. If not, the one after that will be in our new place.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. If not the next one, then definitely the next one after that.
Yeah. We hate this apartment.
Babe is real passionate about moving, but
I'm gonna get out the fuck about this bitch.
I'm grateful for every single step because I feel like it's teaching me a lesson. Goodbye.
Bye. 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 Oh.